Hey guys, for today's video I just wanted to show you how I edit my Instagram photos. I don't do a whole ton of editing, but I feel like the little amount that I do actually kind of makes a fairly large difference in my pictures. So first off, ignore my nails, they're slightly chipped, but I don't even know if you can see that on camera. So the first thing that I usually do for the most part is, well, I will either take my photos on the camera app or on Snapchat. The reason why I like doing it on Snapchat is because it doesn't flip the photo around. But in the event that I take it on my regular camera, then the first thing I'll do is go to the Aviary app. And if I go to Aviary, and if I were to take, we're going to use, which photo are we going to use for an example? We'll use this one. This one's unedited. So if I were to go here, then I can go to orientation and then I can just flip it back to its normal thing. I actually happen to like it this way for now, so we're actually going to keep it. But usually that's the first thing I do is go there and then I just flip it back to normal because that's what I had originally seen on the camera, so it looks like funny when it's flipped the other way. So that's pretty much the only thing I ever use Aviary for. After that, occasionally, if it's too dark, I always try to take my pictures in good lighting because I feel like the basis of a good photo is good lighting. But in case it is not good, I will go to SnapC. And SnapC to me is by far like the most intricate photo editing app that I've seen. I know this is not the most flattering picture of me. I'm not wearing makeup and my hair is just kind of doing its own thing, but I feel like this is kind of a good picture to go off of just so you can see the before and after. So if I were to go here, right, and I go to, I don't do tune image, I don't do the entire thing, because if I were to brighten up the entire thing, it would just be like too bright, right? But say there was a specific area that I wanted to brighten up, they have something called selective, which is right here. If you click selective and you clicked on a certain area that you wanted to either brighten or saturate, say I wanted to saturate my face slightly because I look so pale here, I'll just click on my face, and within a certain like radius, you can actually edit the radius size. You can either brighten it, make the contrast higher or lower, or saturate it. So if I just wanted to saturate it like slightly, then that's what I am able to do. Now mind you, I don't really have much of a tan right now, so any sort of saturation is just giving me some redness. So we are not going to do that. But what we will try to do is contrast it just slightly, just so I have some dimension to my face, right? So now you can see like a difference in the before and after. Not that this is the most attractive photo to do that with either, but it's fine. So now we're going to save. I always like to overwrite my pictures, like instead of saving a copy, I just save it over the original. I just find it easier. So then after that, usually what I'll do is I'll go to VSCO. VSCO is where I use all of my filters. I have a bunch of different filters. It's not just the filters that the app comes with. Like I've purchased like the packaging filters because there's so many options on here and they're just awesome. So usually what I do is if I feel the need to work on the exposure or the brightness, then that's where I go here, and I'll usually maybe expose it like by 1 or 2 like numbers, but that's probably about it. I may do it to 1 right now. And then if I go here, my favorite ones on here, I like A4, but this, because I barely have coloring in here, this is not going to look right. I like B2 because this black and white usually looks really super faded, but again, because there's not a lot of contrast in here, it's going to make me look too washed out. But there are some other ones that I think would work well. This one, KK2, this one adds some saturation, which I do like. And then I also really like M3, but because I look like really vampire-ish in this picture, I'm going to go with KK2. And then occasionally I play with the saturation from there. So it depends. Like this one might be too red if I play with the saturation. That's actually okay if I keep it at 1, right? And then I'll play with the fade button. So the fade button is actually my favorite thing to do for Instagram pictures because I just feel like it actually, if you fade out every single one of your pictures, it makes it look like you have an Instagram theme. And even though I don't have an Instagram theme on my Instagram feed, I think just fading them all to a decent amount actually helps it become a little bit more cohesive. So yeah, so I'll usually fade it to like 4, 5, 6 between that area. This one could actually go a little bit more because it's so bright that the fade is barely showing. So I'm actually going to keep it, I'll keep it at like 6. So that's like what I would typically do for just like a regular selfie picture. Hold on, let me see if I can save this. Here we go. Come on. And then sometimes which is a little excessive, I will double filter it. So instead of just doing just that one, then I'll go back and I'll add another layer on top. And I usually like doing M3 because M3 actually just kind of makes it look like, I don't know, a little more grungy looking, which I know is like a little bit excessive to people to do double filters, but sometimes I like it. And if you think that this is then too strong and you want to just like not make it as strong, you could just bring down the number on the second time, on the second filter. So like, I think like 9 is nice. So that's honestly what I do for my pictures. If I am taking a photo of a product, like something like, I took a picture of roses yesterday. My boyfriend bought me roses, and I took a picture of them. And what I did here, I really filtered it out. You can seriously do some heavy editing on product images because you don't notice as much of a difference as you would on somebody's face, for example. So you can really go heavy on this. And I did 2 filters on this, and then I added a lot of grain to it. I find that when you add a lot of grain to a photo, it actually just like adds so much dimension. Now I wouldn't necessarily do this on my face because it'll take away some of the clarity, but if I did it on a photo that just has like a product, for example, like the roses, it just like helps it stand out a little bit more. So again, I don't like it on a face, but I like it on a regular product image. Also, if you see it right there, that looks like super bright. What I always do on product images is I go to PixArt, and this is my favorite app to add just a little bit of more of an effect on a photo. So for example, like I said, like I did it here, if I were to click this again, right? What I did here was add, I always go to lens flare. Lens flare is my favorite. So I usually click this one, but I think actually with this photo I did this one because this one looked a little bit more natural. So what I did was I took the flare, and like you see, I can do it like that too. And I lowered the, you know, to see that, so that it wouldn't be too strong or too overbearing. But that's basically what I did. So then it just looked like it stood out a little bit more. But yeah, that's basically all that I do. I don't do anything else, but I know with the product images I go a little bit excessive on the editing, but I feel like that's what you can do it with. Like I said, I don't have an Instagram theme. The only thing that I do on Instagram is every 5 photos I add a quote. So that way, if you're looking right here, there's always a quote like kind of in the middle, and in between it's like a box and then a quote, and a box and a quote, and a box and a quote, you see? So that's basically it, and I just fade them out. And that's about that. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I know it wasn't maybe the most intricate editing, but that's basically all I'm going to do. And I can show you guys how I do my flat lay photos. Like if you guys want to see how I style my flat lays like this, let me know in the comments below, and then I will post a video like that to show you how I style them and everything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and add me on Instagram if you don't have me already. And if you did not see my last video, you can click the upper corner and to go watch that, which is about pageants. And yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, bye.